Welcome to another boring episode where we can completely waste your time here on United Falling. Today, I will be hosting this amazing episode on the topic of why not to buy Bitcoin. I, as in Thomas.
This is Steven.
Jason.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's actually pretty amazing. You guys hit it at the same time.
Yeah.
I was a little bit early.
Yeah, a fraction. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let's talk about this boring topic of why not to buy Bitcoin.
Also NFTs, because
Oh,
there's a lot of people saying how NFTs are scams. It's all bullshit.
Money
There's a
laundering.
lot of anti-crypto sentiment going on right now.
yeah, definitely. We could talk about the NFT part too. Why not to buy NFT? So, just full disclaimer up front, this is not a financial advice. Obviously, who would want to listen to someone like me who has 10 years of experience in, the financial industry and so on so forth. And also, I don't have a license in selling financial products. What would you say, Andrew?
I never listen to anything you say.
Okay, well, good for you, buddy.
Wait, you are or are not licensed to sell financial products?
No, I'm not licensed.
Okay.
Legitimately, yeah, I'm not being sarcastic. I literally do not have a license to sell financial products.
Nor would you want to be licensed.
Neither
Yeah, it's actually pretty boring. I don't like that. That's not my.
forte.
No, it's a
Wow.
good
Look
strength,
at you.
but I don't like doing it.
Finishing short sentences.
I know.
They
Wow.
failed at that. Steven.
And today I jumped blank. Stephen, go.
Huh?
You're supposed to finish my sentence,
your
man.
sentence.
Obviously, Steven's not listening to you either.
Oh.
Let's just end this podcast. This is a complete waste of time. All right. See you later, folks. It was great wasting your time for how many minutes? 2.5 minutes.
This is going to be really great to edit. I'll tell
All
you
right.
that.
Top 3 reasons to not buy Bitcoin. Go.
Okay.
Go.
All right. So we're just going right to the punch then. Okay.
Yes.
Come on, fast.
All
do
right.
it.
So top 3 reasons not to. Okay. Hold on. Before I go, I am in support of Bitcoin. Okay.
Nobody cares.
And-
What's
You
the
don't
top
say.
3 reasons?
So, well, no, that's it. Kind of shapes the reasons, the answers of what I'm going to say, what I'm about to say for the rest of the
So
podcast.
basically, you're saying you're going to be biased.
Yeah, I'm biased
Or
towards buying Bitcoin.
We got you.
Legitimate.
Yeah. So, top 3 reasons why not to buy Bitcoin. First of all, number 1, when you buy Bitcoin, the question you have to ask yourself is, how do you store the Bitcoin? Okay.
Okay.
For a regular person, how do you guys store your Bitcoin? Well, think about it. Let's step back. Let's use your bank accounts, your cash, for example. How do you guys store your cash? You leave it in your bank, right? Because
Yeah.
you trust the banks to keep it in your account and they won't revoke it, right?
Yeah.
Because you trust the institutions. But then with Bitcoin, where are you going to leave it? You buy it at an exchange, a centralized exchange,
right? Like
or
Coinbase, right?
like a Coinbase, like a Kraken, like Binance, like OKX,
Crypto.com.
Bitfinex, Crypto.com, a lot of the other major centralized institutions or exchanges across the globe. Or you could buy it at decentralized exchanges. But for you newbies out there, I'm not going to go into that rabbit hole. So after you buy the Bitcoin at an exchange, what do? Typically, if it was cash, you just leave it in your checking account, right? You'd leave it at that institution. Well, when you buy the Bitcoin, you could leave it at that exchange, right? For instance, you could buy the Bitcoin at Coinbase.com and leave it at Coinbase.com.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is because crypto is not a mature, still a growing industry, there's a lot of risks that's inherent in the crypto ecosystem in itself. So what I mean, so one of the most obvious example is, let's say Coinbase.com gets hacked, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden that Bitcoin, let's say you bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at Coinbase.com. All of a sudden, some hacker steals it. It's all gone. Poof, disappeared. Right. So the buyer who bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you can't retrieve that anymore. Why? Because there isn't any federal or any regulations or laws or legislations that's passed that protects your crypto that you've bought
I have a
with your
question.
own cash dollars. Okay, go shoot.
So what? Based on what you just said, if I recall correctly, do banks have the FDIC insurance? So,
Yes.
like, if a bank gets robbed, then the government will come in and reimburse your money that was stolen.
Correct.
Yeah,
There's like a limit.
what's the limit?
It depends. It's tiered. I believe. Don't quote
It's
me
like-
on this, but I think it's upwards to 10,000. I believe. Actually, let me double.
But generally, each
It's
Okay.
250,000 per depositor per insured bank for each account ownership category.
So it's $250,000 total. So if you have multiple checking accounts, a savings account, so if in total, you can the FDIC regulatory body will reimburse $250,000 worth of dollars back to you. So
and beyond that, you're just on your own.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with crypto, the government won't reimburse any of that money back at all. So you have full liability. So that's a huge risk there. So then you ask yourself okay. So I could buy Bitcoin, leave it at a Coinbase.com or an exchange, or I could take it offline. I could take it and put it in my own quote unquote wallets, right? So there's two broad categories of wallets you can use. First of which is hot wallets, which is effectively a software, like a program, like an app that can be on your phone, or a program, an app or software that's can be on the laptop or on a desktop, on a basic PC.
Is MetaMask a hot wallet?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So what Jason asked, MetaMask. So MetaMask is a type of hot wallet, which is one of the originals. It's a pretty reputable brand. It's been there since the beginning of the crypto boom, if you will. So they do provide a hot wallet for you for free. You can create as many hot wallets as you want, and there's no KYC. So what that means is know your customer. So basically, you don't need to put in your phone number, your email address, your social ID, your name. All you need is they'll provide you an address, and you need to save the password to log into that wallet. So that is one of the positives in having this hot wallet here at MetaMask. Now, there's a whole plethora of different types of hot wallets out there. MetaMask is one of many. But on the thread of MetaMask, the MetaMask, I guess, what do you call it? I guess you call it a organization, if you will. They create other types of products as well. So don't confuse yourself when you search MetaMask, that there's only a MetaMask wallet. They'll have other types of products that they sell also. So what you want to do if you're interested in looking for a hot wallet, search MetaMask hot wallets. So that's a hot wallet. So hot wallets are basically a software program that's on your computer or on your phone. Okay. Now, the second category of a hot wallet is a cold wallet. So a cold wallet is where it's not a software, but an actual hardware with a dedicated security system with basically, in a simple level term, an extra layer of security steps that protects you from being hacked. It's not 100% proof that you'll never get hacked, but it actually is a considerable higher degree of security protection if you use a cold wallet. So example of a few cold wallets are what is it? Treasure. Treasure is a very popular brand. Ledger is another one. Um, let me think. So those
Nano?
two wallets.
Ledger,
Huh?
Nano Ledger, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right, Jason. So Ledger Nano. So Nano is a model type within a model type of the Ledger. So Ledger is a company or an organization that creates hardware cold wallets, but then they have different types of products. One of them is a Nano Ledger, and there's some other stuff I don't remember what they're called. And then Treasure, same thing, same hierarchy as well. So now naming those, so drilling down on those two, Treasure and Ledger, those two types of cold wallets, they store not only Bitcoin, but other crypto assets as well. So for instance, I'm sure all of you guys who are listening onto the show, if there are any guest listeners on the show, there is Bitcoin, obviously, the original. And then there's Ether, okay? The Dogecoin, Shiba Inu coin, Luna, Solana, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
Bitcoin.
effectively
Acoin.
Oh yeah, that's right. Andrew's favorite, Acoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why
So-
is that your favorite? I don't get it. Is it your favorite? Or you just like saying it?
Saying what?
Acoin.
Oh, I have no idea. It's just like the one that is the first cryptocurrency I learned of was Acoin.
Really? Before
Wait,
Bitcoin?
seriously?
Even before Bitcoin?
I don't recall when I learned about Bitcoin, but I do recall learning about Acoin because I thought this is hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's
Is
so
it
weird.
is it just because of Akon?
Pretty much.
Yeah, Akon is the one who made Acoin. But that's crazy though. I mean, you're telling me
Self.
in your recent memory that you heard of Acoin first before Bitcoin, because usually it's
So I'm not a big crypto guy.
yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, because I would assume for the vast majority of the people out there, they would hear Bitcoin first. But then I guess it depends on the timeline, because now today there's just so much noise and crap crypto assets out there. I'm sure.
I'm sure
Yeah,
no one
Bitcoin's
knows
not
what
the first
Bitcoin
thing.
is anymore.
Dude,
Everyone knows what
Andrew
Bitcoin
has all the
Probably
the
not.
crap. Andrew's got all the dog ones, anyways, right? Shiba.
There's like
is. Dogecoin.
Andrew's like, "Oh man, this one looks cute," and then he just buys it.
And honestly, there's some people who just buy that just because it has a cool logo and stuff.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
okay, Acoin. Does Acoin have like Akon's face on it?
I don't know. Google it.
Yeah, look it up, Steven.
Yeah,
You're
look
a
it up
fact
for us.
checker. Is Acoin even still real?
Yeah, is that a
Okay,
still a real project?
I would be surprised if it was.
Acoin is like an A, but instead of the dash in the middle, it's a globe and has Africa in the middle.
Okay, I clicked on the
Oh.
website and it says Acoin, one Africa, one coin. So yeah,
Wait, you clicked on the website?
yeah.
It might have been hacked.
Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
All right. Anyways,
Anyways, so
continue.
where was I?
So why
right.
you already
Uh-huh.
went through all of the the exchanges and the cold and hot wallets. Why is that a reason not to buy Bitcoin?
Great question. So everything I just said. So if you just from a regular person, a regular Joe on the street, you hear that. I mean, just the fact that there's security risk, hacker can steal my stuff, and that means I have to move my Bitcoin to a different place, a hot wallet, cold wallet. Like, what does that even mean? And how am I supposed to do that? And you're telling me I have to memorize passwords to store my crypto assets or my Bitcoin? That's crazy. When a regular dude on the street, they could just buy cash and deposit it into their checking account and have the bank trust that institution to save their money, to keep their money safe. So for a regular person, these extra small micro steps is so tedious and actually has a lot of examples of people losing all their money, some of their money, if not all their crypto money and Bitcoin, just by sending their Bitcoin that they bought into the wrong address. Because what happens is if you're not consciously and deliberately following step by step of where you're sending your money from one address to the next, let's say you're sending from the address in your Coinbase account into your cold wallet. If you have one letter off on that address, it goes to a completely different address. And guess what? You can't get it back. You
Yeah.
cannot get it back. Okay. So that's the huge risk there. So a regular person, so that's a number one reason I think is why not to buy Bitcoin. Why go through that extra step? Why would I do that? That's stupid, right? Why would I spend, let's say if I had $50,000 worth of money to buy a Bitcoin versus where I could just buy Tesla stock, rather buy Tesla stock because I could just buy it on the brokerage and let it sit in the brokerage accounts and then have that money, have that stock certificate and that stock, safely stored away in that institution. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the most obvious. So to sum it all up into a couple of words, the extra step can make you lose all of your money very quickly.
Hey, I have another question. So
Yeah.
is there on like mutual funds, like money market, where you have like cash sitting in your mutual fund, is that FDIC insured as well?
That's a good question.
Like if I have a Vanguard or Fidelity account and I have like, $500 sitting in there, not really invested in anything, is that insured? Because
To be honest,
me, that's kind of like a closer scenario to like having like money on Coinbase or something.
Well,
Yeah.
based on what it says, it's pretty much depository accounts. So I don't think it would have anything to do with like mutual funds or whatnot, but don't quote me on that.
Aren't y'all bankers?
Well, yeah, but like I don't deal with that side. I'm normally
bankers?
in lending, but it says 250,000 per depositor per insured bank for each account ownership category. And
Yeah.
Number 2 reason not to buy Bitcoin.
yeah,
Number 2 reason not to buy Bitcoin is, okay. Well, when you look at Bitcoin, you look at the value proposition, right? So if you're a regular Joe Schmo, you see Bitcoin price, explode from 20, I don't know, like even the earliest days up to today. It has risen tremendously over a couple of thousand, 10,000% or so. And then, there's estimation it's estimated that Bitcoin will increase further to $100,000 or maybe even $1 million into the not near future, but in a longer time horizon. But is that guaranteed? There's no guarantee. How do you know if Bitcoin price is going to go to that price level? And also, you think about the risks that's involved in Bitcoin's future. Okay, let's talk about the risk. Yeah, we have the U.S. regulatory bodies talking about Bitcoin. We have politicians wanting to pass laws, that's pro crypto. But then you have, what is it? I think like 10 U.S. financial regulators who have mixed signals and have different concerns on Bitcoin and crypto assets in itself. Now, let's say right now the sentiment is kind of 50-50. Seems like they don't know if they're pro crypto or against crypto. Okay, so if there's a possibility in the future where a vast majority of most of the financial regulatory bodies are against crypto, that will destroy the crypto ecosystem, which is right now currently sitting at $1.5 trillion. So even though the IRS and I believe some of the other financial regulatory bodies are saying Bitcoin is not a security, it is a commodity, and it effectively has a soft green light in the U.S. financial system. But then if, like I said, a lot of the other financial regulatory bodies categorize, let's say, Ether, Dogecoins, Solana, and everything else out there in the crypto universe, those assets to be deemed securities, the fact that they would name that as security would actually take a major toll on the crypto market cap, quote unquote market cap. So that would not only wipe out most of the crypto assets, but also that would take a hit on the Bitcoin price in itself. So a regular person, if you were to buy Bitcoin today, floating around $40,000, and that let's say these multiple regulations does pass, then I'm fairly certain that the price of Bitcoin will dramatically drop in price. And when that happens, when these U.S. financial regulatory bodies pass that, then all the other Western nations and developed countries with robust development for capital markets with their financial regulators, they're all going to say similar things because, in essence, the crypto market is more of a hindrance to the current financial regime, to across all the financial markets. Okay, because basically what it's doing, it's sucking all of the dollars from their currencies into crypto, and when the money sucks out of their traditional financial system, that means there's less money, there's less capital, there's less lending, there's less people buying and selling things using their own currency. And that in itself is actually a tremendous sovereignty risk for that country, not only for their country, but for the US and a global financial system as a whole. So there's a lot of incentive for countries to be against this. Okay. So, yeah.
I have a question. So you said in the case of the US, like we've been printing money a lot in the past 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Which happens to coincide, I think, with the crypto boom. So, we're printing a whole bunch of money, but a lot of that's probably going into crypto, right? Do you think that's what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm fairly certain that the money due to the Federal Reserve using the quantitative easing, the QE program, to basically quote unquote print money like burr into the financial system. That money from the QE that's been printed, a lot of it has not gone into crypto, but there is maybe a minority population of money that's gone into crypto that's expanded it. But I think, because from what I've been reading, from listening to from pundits and economists and financiers, from the conversations that they're having, it sounds like a lot of the money that's been printed, approximately 40% of the money that's printed today, 40% of the money supply that's been printed in the entirety of the US system has been printed in the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's wild. That is so crazy. But to answer your question though, Jason, all that money supply that's being pumped into the system, did it go into crypto? No, I don't think so. What it sounds like, a lot of it has actually gone into the capital markets and into real estate. And a lot of it's gone into the institutions, the private families, and, in a lot of these hedge funds. Because those are the guys who actually make majority of how the money flows in and out of the system. But due to what the U.S. Federal Reserve's program, the QE program, the consequence of that program in itself has a direct correlation to not a direct correlation, one of the many factors of why Bitcoin was created. Because the inventor of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, he or she or a group of people, we don't know, actually left a message on the blockchain commenting on the QE program and the Great Financial Crisis that's arise from that. So, yeah. So to answer that question, Jason, no, most of that money did not go into crypto.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Did I give you answer number 2? Why not to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, risk, right?
Risk, right? Okay, good. Okay,
so how many do you think you have altogether? Like major factors not to buy crypto.
Major factors?
Yeah,
what do you
not
mean?
to buy crypto. So you gave us 2 so far.
I can get. Okay, here. Let me give you an answer to that. What you're trying to ask. I can give you a million reasons, and I can give myself a million reasons why not to buy Bitcoin. To be honest, for me personally, it's more of a conscientious battle to fight why Bitcoin is good and why Bitcoin will survive in the coming decades, and this will be here for many more years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can think of like easy 10 reasons and very strong reasons why Bitcoin will fail, could fail, can fail. So, but
Yeah,
but the
why?
biggest risk,
Yeah.
biggest risk of why not to buy Bitcoin is the sovereign risk, the government, the U.S. government. You have a lot of people out there who still don't know. A lot of the politicians, the powerful politicians, don't know what crypto is, crypto asset. They don't know what a crypto versus an NFT. They can't distinguish even a Bitcoin versus a crypto asset because inherently Bitcoin is different from a crypto asset. Bitcoin is crypto asset, but crypto asset is not Bitcoin, like,
Okay.
in a very convoluted way. I'm not going to elaborate too much into that. So that being said, you got a whole bunch of powerful politicians who don't understand crypto, who don't understand Bitcoin. A lot of politicians who have a reason to to uphold the current financial system. Okay, because having Bitcoin, having crypto assets is basically is a strike against the financial system in itself currently. Because of the current financial regime. So that being said, you have one of the most powerful people in the U.S. and in the world that can destroy Bitcoin and the crypto ecosystem as a whole. We have to fight on a daily, constant, daily basis to give reasons to explain and educate people from the lowest ground level to regular people like you, me, and you, to all the way to the president to understand why Bitcoin is here and what good Bitcoin will bring to the world, and along with the other crypto assets.
So, really quick then,
Uh-huh.
can we talk a little bit about NFT? Like, what? Why even?
I didn't give you a
invest in that?
third reason why not to buy Bitcoin. You don't want that?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, but I also am curious about NFT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a third reason. Okay, let me just recap. So number one reason, too complicated to store your Bitcoin. Why? Okay. Number two, risk of country banning Bitcoin and the crypto collapsing completely. Number three, because I mean, what if like you can't buy anything with Bitcoin, right? What are you gonna do? You want to buy a J Crew T-shirt or you want to buy new glasses? You can't buy
What
that with
about those
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin ATMs? How do those work?
Basically, it's just like a computer plugged onto the internet, and you swipe your credit card or your debit card, and that Bitcoin ATM will send that Bitcoin to the address that you've typed into that machine. That's what it
Oh,
does.
so I can't exchange it for real money. I can only buy Bitcoin on it.
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, Bitcoin. I don't know. I never use it myself. To be honest, I wouldn't recommend anyone to use the Bitcoin ATMs because those can be easily hacked and can be physically tampered with. And plus, a lot of the Bitcoin ATMs I've seen
Hmm.
locally, they're actually in a lot of shady areas. So I wouldn't get near it with a 10-foot pole.
Wait, where
Um,
is it? I've seen it like once or twice, but where is it mainly?
it's just Google it.
Oh,
Like
Everywhere.
okay.
I
Like
heard
you're
a Radiolab podcast about Bitcoin ATM where
Uh-huh.
like this lady was trying to was her computer was being held ransom by some hackers, and
Uh-huh.
so she had to buy Bitcoin in order to like pay off the hackers so she could get her computer back.
Oh
Mhm.
my
And
gosh.
so she had to go to a Bitcoin ATM, and it was like in some shady bodega in New York
Yeah.
yeah.
to
So
buy
when
the
we were
Bitcoin.
in camping
Uh-huh.
in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was one place to get gas close to us called Bubba's Gas. So I went
Oh,
inside and there's
yeah.
an ATM there. I'm like, I need cash. I go to the ATM and it says buy Bitcoin here. I'm like, yeah, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not buying Bitcoin at an ATM in a place called Bubba's Gas. They had
Exactly.
They should
gas,
have
by
probably gave you a great exchange rate.
Yeah.
Great, quote unquote.
I
Yeah.
found one on Jeffrey, by the way. It's in Irvine. They have one.
Okay. You want to reveal your location, but okay. You should probably edit that out, Steven.
Steven, you should go
Unless if-
and like dump all your money into it and see what happens.
Yeah, seriously.
Transfer all my funds into that ATM.
Do it. Okay, but yeah, Andrew, don't like to all of you guys. If you guys are actually interested in using a Bitcoin ATM, I highly do not recommend doing that at all. But I think, from my understanding, I think with Bitcoin ATMs, you can only buy and sell. You can buy Bitcoin. I'm not sure if you can cash it out, but if you wanted to cash it, let me think about it.
Yeah, they
You can't get physical cash because not even like the exchanges, obviously, they'll just dump it into your banking account, checking account. So, because effectively these exchanges, they're just on and off ramp into the crypto world. You go to the bank account, you buy cash, and you put cash into your Coinbase account, and then you buy Bitcoin or you buy Ether, whatever. And if you want to sell your Bitcoin and Ether and crypto assets, you have to liquidate it, get that cash, then have that cash transferred into your checking account. Then you have to go to the standard Bank of America, Chase, so on and so forth, to actually withdraw physical cash.
so they wouldn't.
but
Oh, sorry.
uh-huh.
So
What?
they wouldn't just automatically convert it and then like I want to take 0.57 of Bitcoin out and then they just convert it to cash and it pops out.
Well, if you think about it, I think they can do that technically. They can sell. You can probably sell your Bitcoin if you provide them an address on these Bitcoin ATM machines. But then the problem is like the biggest problem is the exchange rate. How much is that spread? You might be paying a whole bunch for that, whole bunch of fee, like a really high fee for just to sell your Bitcoin. So it's almost not worth it,
Yeah.
So overall, do not use Bitcoin ATMs. Yeah. Okay. So number 3, what did I say? I gave it number 3, right?
Can't buy anything with it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything. Yeah. So, because if you think about it, yeah, there are vendors out there. There's merchants out there, right, who use Bitcoin and their crypto assets. But if you think about it, when you buy, let's say like Lululemon actually accepts Bitcoin and Ether and other crypto assets, right? Think about the process. You have to get your cash in your checking account, buy let's say Dogecoin, right? And then you pay the spread, the trading spread to convert your cash into Dogecoin. And you go to Dogecoin, get that Dogecoin, buy a Lululemon pants, right? And you get it. And you already pay in, sales tax, state tax, whatever else fees you have. And let's say you have leftover Dogecoin. Like, what are you going to do with it? Let's say you want to cash it out. Okay, you sell your Dogecoin. So now you have to sell, your Dogecoin, and there's an actual spread on that in itself. And on top of that, you have a short-term capital gains tax on that leftover Dogecoin that you sell back into cash. So there's like this
Cash.
the asset.
Yeah. Isn't that easier to transfer into money?
So good question. So Bitcoin Cash is just another crypto asset. The word cash in Bitcoin Cash has no meaning to what a US dollar is. It's just Bitcoin Cash is just another crypto asset. That's what it is. So just think of it that way.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's the third reason. So the third reason, you can't buy anything with it. You can't buy coffee. You can't buy Lululemon pants or whatever.
What about
so yeah,
at the Bitcoin pizzeria down the street?
yeah, you could do. Do they? Well, do they accept Bitcoin?
I have no idea. I just know there's like some crypto pizzeria and a crypto like burger place and like.
I feel like they buy all their raw
Yeah.
materials with Bitcoin and then that's
How?
probably what they do.
Bitcoin is just it's just a code. It's like immaterial. How are we supposed to? Where's the raw material on that? Where like get like raw silicon chips or something, like physical silicon chips?
You gotta buy cobalt, man. You gotta buy cobalt.
Yeah, cobalt. What else is there? What else is in this?
Andrew,
Lithium.
instead
Yeah.
of asking us, just go there and buy a pizza. Maybe they like put pepperoni that are shaped in the Bitcoin like logo, and there you go. That's Bitcoin.
a physical
That was
representation.
really horrible. I believe you should just stop talking now.
Shut down.
Oh,
Okay.
that's normal.
Yeah.
All right.
What else is new?
NFTs, or
NFTs?
more reasons?
All right. So NFT. Dude, NFT. Okay, I thought for myself personally, I thought I was pretty informed. I thought I was pretty informed with Bitcoin and the crypto space like last year, but because of just like the pace of how fast this space has grown, I am so behind. Like I don't even keep up anymore. I just really stopped learning and educating myself and keeping up with current events. But NFT in itself, I think for me, it looks like just a laundry. It's a, what do you call it? Cash laundering scheme. Like all those NFT, huh?
Money
Oh,
laundering.
no, I was just like, oh,
Money
wow.
laundering. Yeah. Because I mean, from what the stories that I've been hearing, especially these NFT arts, I don't know if Bored Ape Yacht Club falls into the same category, but a whole bunch of these art pictures in general.
Mhm.
Basically, what you're doing is you get your crypto asset, you buy that NFT, this JPEG image, right, from this marketplace using your crypto asset. And then one of the great abilities dependent on the blockchain and I think on the marketplace in itself, that if you want to sell this painting that you bought to a different person, there's an ability where there's a royalty fee where you can calibrate. So every time this specific painting or this JPEG or NFT picture, if you will, gets sold, you'll get that recurring royalty fee every single time it's being sold, right? I'm like, theoretically, that sounds awesome. In a vacuum, that's great, right? If it gets sold 10 times
So
for like a
Ponzi
10%
scheme.
fee, huh?
It's like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. You just get sold, multiple times. So I'm like, yeah, that in a vacuum, that sounds awesome. But what it sounds like, a lot of these pictures, these NFTs, and what I've been reading on the news, a lot of it is after these people buy it initially, they don't get resold for the same price. But when they do get sold, they get sold at a dramatically lower price. And on top of that, another risk is where you buy these NFTs, okay, on what blockchain. So you can buy NFTs, specifically these art NFTs, these pictures, on a Ethereum blockchain, okay, and you can buy it on a Solana blockchain, on a Tron blockchain. So and all these base layer one blockchains ledger system online, right? So when you think about it, you're like, okay, so I buy a picture on Ethereum blockchain, but then that means I can only sell this picture on another marketplace that's sitting on an Ethereum blockchain, on this base layer blockchain, right? You can't sell it onto a Tron blockchain or the Solana blockchain or another big base layer one blockchain. I'm like, okay, that's stupid. But
So,
but there is a caveat though. So there is protocols out there's programming, if you will, out there where you can transfer the blockchain from Ethereum to Tron to vice versa to other blockchains. So they have that, but the thing is, like, you're actually paying fees and you have to go through extra multiple steps to do that. You're like, why? That's crazy. That's like a waste, right? All right, let me just recap in a couple of words. So basically, there's extra steps to move your NFT picture into different blockchains, from a Ethereum blockchain to a Tron blockchain to another base layer, from one base layer, layer one, to a different base layer one. So there's that extra step. So that's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just, why go through the hassle?
would you
And there's
ever?
a whole,
Oh, sorry. Would you ever invest
no,
yourself?
I would
No.
never buy any NFTs. I have not bought any. I've explored the marketplaces. There's some pretty cool stuff out there, but then it just doesn't make any sense for me to why to buy it.
Mhm.
But
I have
but
some
huh?
I have some NFTs to sell you.
Really? Okay. How much?
How much you got?
I have one Dogecoin.
Oh, I'll
give you
take
that.
I'll take
I
that.
have way more than that. So
I think me and Andrew both have at least 2 NFTs, but that's from like that DC fandom thing.
I got one.
created an NFT, so I have one.
You know, I tried to transfer that NFT to my MetaMask, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
I just left it where it was.
Yeah, where it doesn't do anything because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, maybe I can try to sell it if I move it to my MetaMask, but I can't do that.
Yeah. Okay. So Jason, what did it say? Like, did it say why you can't move it?
I don't know. It just says not found.
Okay. So
Like,
that's
numbers.
okay. So I don't exactly. So I don't know. Understand. So I don't exactly know Jason's situation why it didn't work. But my assumption is, so the MetaMask, they can hold a lot of different types of crypto assets: Ether, Tron, Solana, Dogecoins. Different kinds of crypto assets, and also effectively, different types of blockchains. But they don't accept all of the blockchains out there in the current universe of crypto assets, and there's tons out there. So my assumption is Jason bought an NFT on a specific blockchain, and this blockchain is not supported on this MetaMask. So that's could be one of the reasons why Jason can't transfer this NFT that he has into his wallet. So that could be a factor.
So he would have to convert it, like you said, into that certain blockchain.
Yeah.
And
So
Hold
yeah.
on.
So
let
if
me, let me bring up my stuff. I think the DC.
that's on Ethereum blockchain.
Well, it says it's on Palm Network.
Oh,
Yeah, Palm.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
which
but I thought
is that built on Ether?
yeah, I
Ethereum?
thought it was built on Ether.
is it? Let me see.
Let me see. Palm NFT Studios. Wow, their site sucks. There's nothing here.
Make sure to give your username and password for that one too, Jason.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're right.
Ethereum. It's an open Ethereum ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a side chain of Ethereum. So,
So it's like a mistress.
yeah, basically.
Yes.
So it's not on the base layer side chain. So basically, like it's not on the main primary Ethereum blockchain that a lot of the people are familiar with. So what for my understanding with these side chains, you have to still convert it into the main Ethereum chain. So when you do that, the fact that you have to transfer it, another factor you have to think about is when you're transferring this NFT from one blockchain to the next, it's not free. You have to pay money. You have to pay crypto to buy it. And if you're have an NFT, for example, on the Ethereum blockchain, the primary blockchain right now, not any of these side chains like Palm, and you want to transfer it into, let's say, Solana blockchain, base layer blockchain, or vice versa, currently to this date, the fee or the gas, that's what they call it, is enormous. Okay. Right now, I don't know how much it is today, but a lot of the times, if you have like a small value, let's say like a $10 worth of NFT valued at $10, if you want to move it from not even from the Ethereum blockchain to Solana, the fee to that will be like 2 to 3, 4 times more than the value of the $10 NFT in itself. It is crazy expensive. Okay. And that's stupid. Like, why? The whole point of this whole decentralized system is to have free flowing, decentralized economic value moving seamlessly throughout the system without a centralized authority. But then one of the biggest barriers currently to this day, because of the Ethereum ecosystem, is that it's so expensive that it's actually hindering a lot of that dreams of what the decentralized DeFi goal was or is. So, and also, not only if you want to move it from one blockchain to the next, even just moving this, said NFT to just your wallet costs a gas fee too, and that will cost the same amount, if not,
Wow.
similar, or if not more. So you're like, this is stupid. Why, right? So holding the NFT right now, you're going to hold it for hostage. And if you were wanted to move the NFT around to a wallet, to a different blockchain, you need a whole bunch of money to do that. So you're like, why would I want this? And So there. So art NFTs, I would never buy. Yeah, well, maybe never is too strong. I would not buy for a very long time.
Tomorrow,
This
I'm
NFT space
just gonna buy one.
actually, I'm gonna buy, except for Andrews. I'm gonna buy his for one Dogecoin.
That's right.
But inherently, the NFT
Mine
technology
is
in
a
itself.
spider.
What
What?
Mine is a picture of a spider.
What
spider?
the-
Wait,
Can
did
we
you make
see
it?
Yeah, I made it. I told you.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Let us see it.
I
Well,
wanna see
you
it.
guys, Thomas, you made one too with the music and Andrew's art. Remember?
yeah. So
That was a while ago, though.
Did anyone buy it?
I don't know. I forgot the password for that wallet. You know what's crazy? So here's the thing. This is another reason why not to buy Bitcoin or any of the crypto assets too. Okay. So if you think about it, fundamentally, DeFi means decentralized system. There's no centralized authority. There's no one you can talk to customer service that that can help you, right? So if you
Oh.
lost your password,
Oh,
like it could be depending on the organization, like it would be gone forever. Okay. If you
so whatever
have
you invested in is gone.
yeah, if you forgot your password and this specific organization and they don't provide you a password recovery password, like let's say you had like $500,000 worth of Bitcoin, poof, it's gone from you personally. You will never get it back. No one can get it back from you. It's just sitting on that specific address forever.
You know
And
what
ever.
would you know what would be
Uh-huh.
hilarious if like that NFT that you created was
Uh-huh.
sold for like $1 million and
Oh my gosh,
it's
that'd be
just
crazy.
waiting for you.
That would be such a loss of opportunity, but I highly doubt it.
No, but
But
I
uh-huh.
did have a friend that had that same problem. He forgot his password and he bought like a bunch of like Ripple back in the day, like
Uh-huh.
before it got big at one point. And then
Uh-huh.
he lost his password and he has no access to whatever he had at that time.
Oh my gosh, he probably lost a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending when he bought it, but yeah. So that's a number 4 reason why not to buy Bitcoin. I mean, this whole crypto stuff. Like, if you lose your password, especially if you buy it from a decentralized exchange,
Mm.
and if you use a soft wallet, yeah, you're screwed. You're gone. So that's a bit. So that's a humongous risk right there.
Humongous.
Humongous. Yeah.
I actually
Um,
I went on my NFT account for the DC fandom and it says
Yeah.
my account is unavailable.
Yeah, I got
Really?
that too.
I'm
See?
like, what the?
See, there you go. There you go. So here, this is another reason why I don't like NFTs either. You're sitting on this block, this Palm side blockchain, right? Or whatever this
Yeah.
blockchain is. And these, companies, they can turn off your account or like shut down the blockchain and disintegrate it. And you have no power over it. And like, you lose it forever. Like
Oh my-
if this NFT is only on this blockchain and
Yeah.
they decide to I don't want to work on this source code anymore. Like, I'm over it. That NFT that you bought hypothetically for whatever the value you used,
Yeah.
it's gone forever. You're like, what the heck, right?
Yeah.
So the
I-
fact
I-
there's,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, the fact that you don't have physical tangibility on, holding this physical thing is just feels so. I mean, it feels like it's a waste of money,
I completely agree. Other than the fact that I got it free, right? But the
Yeah.
thing about it was like when I got it, it was like a cover art, right, of a comic
Uh-huh.
book, and then you can't even open it, you can't even read it. So I was
Yeah.
like, "What is this?" It's just like a piece of art that I could have, bought from a comic book, or
Uh-huh.
So I was just kind of like, "What is an NFT now?"
Exactly. So that simple line of thought, Stephen, that's you with like 99.99% of the people, I think, out there in the world. Like, why buy something online when I would rather have a physical thing? Because as a human being, it just, we have a more intimate connection with physical things that we
Yeah.
can touch. The
Yeah.
tangibility of the thing that we bought, has value, kind of retains that economic value of this thing that you bought,
Right.
So. Yeah, NFTs. I don't get it. I don't believe in it. I think it's a huge scam right now. But I do see the basic functionality because NFT, for you guys who don't know, stands for non-fungible tokens. Basically, what it means on a very layman terms is it's a thing that's unique. So it's like,
One of
you know,
in the world.
exactly. So a great use case for that is your medical records, you know, your mortgage, your house title, let's say for like your car VIN number, right? All those
Right.
unique things that has a functional purpose as an NFT. But the art NFT, I don't get it. I don't believe in that
Well,
stuff.
it's like Picasso, right? There's only like one painting that Picasso painted of this, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
the same exact concept.
Yep.
It's just,
Exactly.
it's just how inflated is the value of this piece of art now, just because it's like the thing to do, because it's, you know, the modern version of that.
Mhm.
So, you know, you could buy an NFT for $1 million today and it'll be worth like $10,000 tomorrow. So
Yep.
But
Exactly.
yeah, but that's harder to wrap your head around, because like with a Picasso painting, you have a physical thing. It could be a fake or whatever, but it's physical, and they can value it
but
based
with an
on.
NFT, it's actually easier to spot a fake, right?
Okay,
Because
okay,
there's only
because
one
of their
source to
code
that.
or whatnot,
Because of the
right?
blockchain, the blockchain's strength is like it's independently verifiable from many different unbiased sources.
Exactly.
So you
Yep.
can look at their footprint and verify, is it real? Like you can basically trace the whole history from creation to whenever it ends up in your hands.
Yep.
Another
Exactly.
point is like a ton of people spend a ton of money on digital goods, like in games.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
like they buy virtual items that only work in
Oh,
that one game, right? Like
right.
World of
Mhm.
Warcraft.
like World of Warcraft. Like so, I think NFTs are an awesome idea, but because so many people are scamming right now, then it just turns everyone off. And I think
So you kind of just have to wait till it's more mature and
exactly,
there's
yeah.
more
It's just
security.
yeah, this is the Wild West where there's train robbers, bandits.
Yeah.
You don't know. There's like a bunch of shit going on.
Yep.
And like, and then
Exactly.
you have to train like Thomas and Andrew when they created their NFT. We don't know if it got robbed or what happened. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you can see it like in that marketplace. If you search whatever, I don't know, my name or whatever how I labeled it, you can see
Mhm.
it there. Um and but the problem is like I can't reach it. That's the issue.
Yeah.
So
So like, you really at this point would not suggest uh investing in NFT. Like
um
at this
yeah.
point. Okay.
Yeah. So for myself personally, I have no inkling, I have no conviction at all to buy any art NFTs. They serve no purpose. But I do see a future in the NFT technology, blockchain in itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just needs to mature. It just needs to grow. Um,
Is there
yeah.
any way that they can uh create some kind of security for it that would stop like the scammer?
Then it
Oh
would
yeah.
be centralized. It's like
Oh,
who do you designate? Then it's like,
I
well,
see.
shit. If you designate one entity, then they have all the power. That kind of further centralizes your supposed decentralized network. But then if you depend on like everyone to do it, well, that just opens it up to fraud. And there's some honest people out there, but I think most people, when faced with opportunity, are going to take it.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, one way to help kind of create some law and order is the development of these, passing these legislations by the U.S. and other Western governments. This will help kind of weed out all the scammy people out there, and kind of clean up the market and make the crypto market more mature. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect because I mean, look at the current financial system. You got J.P. Morgan Chase, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, ripping off not only other high net worth people, but regular folks who,
Yeah.
stole billions of dollars, made hidden trade fees, like the system's not perfect, but
Yeah.
but regulation is definitely one of the ways to help, kind of put guardrails for the crypto ecosystem. But directly, like Jason said, if you put a central authority to, as a crypto police force, you're now putting the power into this police organization to, in their hands, which doesn't make any sense. But it's actually an interesting existential theory, though, like, because even though people like to say, DeFi and we like to, the purpose of DeFi and crypto is to spread out decentralization, and every single individual wants to take ownership. But I mean, if you think about it as a regular person, like, I really don't want to take the extra step and be stressed out to, maintain my own wallet, maintain my own crypto assets, and look behind my back if someone's stealing my money and stuff. Because you're like, what the heck? Because like, if you think about it long term, it seems like even though it's very decentralized, more or less in a lot of the areas, I think eventually in the end, everything will merge back into kind of like a centralized force. Because a good example is like the internet, right? I mean, the internet seemed very decentralized, and in some ways, in some layers of the internet protocol is decentralized, but inherently, a lot of it's been re-centralized into major groups, to these big tech giants, right? For like social index, search indexing, you got Google, social media, you got Facebook and stuff. Okay. But anyways, yep. That being said, that was a talk. I just gave you what? 3 or 4 major reasons why not to buy Bitcoin. So if you don't want that extra stress, don't buy it. But to give you one reason to buy Bitcoin is, well, when if you can overcome and educate yourself, and
you said not to.
What?
Overcome all the reasons why you said not to.
Yeah, overcome all the reasons why I told you not to buy it. If you do your own homework, if you find your own conviction, and you believe in Bitcoin, a simple starting point is like Bitcoin in US dollar terms is going to go way above 100,000, all the way up to, it's been forecasted to go all the way up to $1 million. Why? Whoa. It's going to go up to $1 million or so, or like a couple of hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Yeah. Obviously, there's a range. One of the most obvious signals that one Bitcoin will go up to $500,000 to $1 million is because look at today on all the financial news websites, you got public companies like Tesla, Mass Mutual, you have JP Morgan Chase, all these financial institutions, public companies, even governments buying and holding on to Bitcoin on their balance sheets. So once the big dogs, the people who has all the money, do you know who the people who have all the money are? The pension funds, the sovereign funds, and retirement funds. All those guys, once they just put 1%, 2% of Bitcoin on their balance sheet, that translates to that Bitcoin forecasted price of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the way it looks like right now, it's trending towards a lot of these institutions are considering putting just a little Bitcoin on their balance sheets because of the current economic, not only the U.S. economic environment, but the global environment in itself. Because for me personally, the whole system is just, the whole global economy is really messed up, and the financial system in itself. So that being said, that's it. So how do I end this?
No, you just say thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah, and thanks for joining for another episode of what was it? What's the podcast called? United Fallen Podcast. I'm out.